Hey everyone, George here. Hope you're having a lovely day, whatever it is you're getting up to. I'm out here in nature, again, believe it or not. Imagine if I said I'm just in my living room. You'd all think, oh no, he actually lives in nature. Poor boy. But I pretty much do. I love nature. I try and get out in nature as often as I can. Listening to the sounds of the birds, listening to the beautiful trees swaying above my head. Still incredibly barren, but it's okay. Spring's on the way. And what a wonderful winter it has been. Winter seems very cold and long and dark and scary and miserable, but the reality is we need winter. Nature needs winter. The animals need winter. There are some very sensible animals who hibernate throughout winter. And I often find hibernation utterly fascinating. And the reason for this is, you know how we're taught that we need to drink every day and we need to eat every day? Well, you get animals in nature that hibernate for 6 months and they don't eat or drink. Like, drinking's the big one. They don't drink. How do they survive then? Food for thought. I have curiosity regarding all aspects of life and nature. And upon reflection, I realised that ultimately this is a childlike essence that I have and always have, and I guard and protect extraordinarily so. And the reason I protect it to such a degree is for a plethora of reasons. But the main reason is because this is how I stay sane in the society and culture that we've created for ourselves in modern times. Not that I dislike society as such, not that I dislike our culture. I think there's so many wonderful things to behold within it. But this whole ideology of grow up, be an adult now, you're not a child anymore, and because you're not a child anymore, you can't think this way, you can't act that way. It would be immature for you to climb the tree. It would be immature for you to wander through the forest with a mind that is that of curiosity and wonder and enthusiasm. Stop being so enthusiastic all the time. Just go to work, go home, watch the news, be a good boy, be a good citizen, and keep your mouth shut until you retire. Then you can moan even more. And then eventually you'll die and that's it, that's your life. I say no. I say no politely. No thank you. I'm alright. I'm going to continue to go through life very curious, very immersed in wonder, and certainly enthusiastic. Enthusiasm stems from the Greek word entheos, meaning God within. Jesus himself said we must be like children, and that you will not know the kingdom of heaven unless you become like a little child. Those are the words from the most famous man to ever live on this planet. You will not know the kingdom of heaven unless you live like a little child. And that's what I try to do. Not from a place of immaturity, not being immature and pretending like things don't exist when they do. Not taking things seriously when they absolutely should be taken seriously. Like the devastating stat that the number one killer of men between the age of 40 and 50 is suicide. Meaning men in their 40s are ending their life because they feel so trapped. Life hasn't worked out the way they were promised. They were promised that, all you need to do is go to university, then get a job, get a house, get a mortgage, find a wife, have children, and then you'll be happy. Then all the answers will be answered, and you'll finally understand the meaning of life. But the opposite is happening in this society that is supposed to be so advanced, so civilized, so proper. The thing that is killing our men the most is them, their own mind, their lack of peace. So this is why I stay childlike, to protect myself, to protect my emotions, to protect my spirit, to protect my mental health and my physical health. I'm absolutely going to climb that tree and you can't stop me. If I get to a point where I physically can't climb a tree because I'm so physically inept, I'm going to start worrying that perhaps I've been lied to. That sitting around all day being firm and proper and mature and adult isn't the way forward for me. And I highly suggest you do the same, because children are curious. Stay curious. Go out into nature and enjoy the forest. Keep wondering. Wonder is beautiful. Wonder doesn't need an answer. Questions do. Wonder doesn't. Questions are where you go out into the world and go, well, why is it like this? Let me find the answer. Well, why does that happen? Let me find the answer. Why do the trees above me sway like that? Oh, well, George, I can answer that for you. It's because the altitude up there is far greater and denser than the altitude down here, and that's why the trees sway like that. It's not magical. It's not blissful. It's not amazing. It's not something to rejoice over. It's something that an adult knows and a child doesn't. Therefore, George, you need to grow up already. It's like, it kills it for you. It's like, oh, okay, so it's to do with the wind altitude. Fine. Thank you for answering the question. I'm still going to wonder why it makes me feel so happy and magical and peaceful when I hear the swaying above my head. Fine, it's because of the wind, but it still doesn't explain why I feel so great inside upon listening to that beautiful noise. So I'm going to stay full of wonder. I'm going to stay full of curiosity, because this is what children do, and it's beautiful and magical. There's a dog over there. Hello, dog. Dogs are amazing. Can't beat them. I'm definitely more of a dog person, I think, than a cat person. But I like both. I love both. I've had cats and dogs in the past, and I love both of them. I love their energy. I love how they are. I love their innocence. I love their wonder and their enthusiasm for nature. If I take a dog out into nature, they are just as, if not more, enthusiastic than I am. They go crazy. They love it. It's beautiful to witness. So don't be afraid to be childlike. Not immature, but childlike. Crack a joke next time you have a very serious meeting at work. Say something funny to a colleague. Provide them with a nice compliment that you mean. Because the world is so serious and so full of rules, regulations, limitations, and its own set of morals that might not fit with yours. So don't be afraid to go out there and be joyful and skip down the corridor and smile in traffic and pray for the person who cuts you off at the roundabout, because they're probably having a really bad day. They're probably angry and stressed and miserable themselves. You don't need to adopt that mindset. You can be the opposite. You know, they say, if you want to change the world, start by being that change. And it's very contagious. If you're fun and happy and joyful and blissful and full of life, full of energy, full of happiness, and don't allow the darkness in the world to consume you, it has a ripple effect. Negativity has a ripple effect as well. If someone's negative, often you then become negative and you take that home with you. I've had it so many times where I've been talking about all the wonderful things in life and how easy it is to survive now and how much we can just enjoy ourselves. And then people will cut me off and say, well, yeah, but the world's probably going to end in about 4 years. Do you watch the news? And then I'm just like, oh no, that doesn't sound good, I suppose. But that's 4 years away, allegedly. Why can't today be wonderful? I don't know. I just throw a curveball on the whole thing because I think we live in a camouflage. We live in an illusion that this society we've created for ourselves is fantastic and works really well. But everyone I see around me genuinely seems really miserable and sad and scared and frustrated and angry. And that doesn't inspire me. I'm inspired by the foxes. I'm inspired by the badgers. I'm inspired by the robins. I'm inspired by the dogs. I'm inspired by the squirrels. They climb way higher than I ever could. I'm inspired by the wind, by the grass, by the sun, and how it all makes me feel. It makes me feel like a child. It makes me feel innocent. It makes me feel wonderful. It makes me feel accommodated. I feel like I'm on holiday out here in nature, and I get to experience all these wonderful things, but I also realize and reflect that it's not all about me. Life's not all about me. I'm just a visitor for now, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this visit. May it last a long time. Wow, that's a bird of prey. Oh, that's so cool. Birds of prey, like, don't get me wrong, I always feel a bit sad after I see one because I know that they're scouting mice, should I say, and they can see mice on the forest floor. Could you hear him? They can see mice on the forest floor from that high. They've got incredible eyesight. Can you hear him? So he's looking for little field mice, but they are amazing. The way their wings spanned and the sound that they make. They're the closest thing to eagles that you get here in the UK. They're huge as well. I love birds of prey. They fascinate me. Oh, there's an example though, like, oh, where am I? There I am. I just love it out here, man. Yeah. I'm not growing up anytime soon. I know myself too well to pretend to be someone I'm not, just to fit in. I refuse. He's coming back. I know myself too well. I mean, that is just fascinating. He is so big. And the way that they fly and glide and move with nature and move through the air, absolutely incredible. I'm hoping that the audio is picking up his beautiful, majestic sounds. I think there's two, or is that the same one? I can stay out here in nature and just be fascinated by all of it. I don't want to go home and watch the news. I don't want to go home and complain about the state of the world. I don't want to be psychologically operated on by the TV commercials and the billboards and the advertisement, convincing myself that I am not enough and that I need to buy these clothes and do these things and be this kind of person. I don't want other people to dictate the trajectory of my path. I want my path to be clearly, beautifully and wonderfully crafted by the Creator. I will trust God over anything else in this life. And you only need to spend a little bit of time out here in nature to appreciate all His good work. Thank you for watching. I don't know if I said anything interesting today, to be honest, because I'm very immersed in nature. I filmed some shorts for next week, which I enjoyed. And then I just take a bit of time out and relax out here. And then I usually film a long form content. But I've had a long week where a lot of people in my life have been tremendously sad, and that's okay, and I do feel for them. And I think when people around you are quite sad and quite miserable and upset, I want to help them so much. But I mean, my dad always says, when no one else can help you, you can only help yourself. And I truly believe in that. And I think the first step, as I always say, is to get out here into nature and listen to the bird song and watch the birds of prey and watch the squirrels and spend some time with the robins and watch the ants work tremendously hard beneath your feet, and appreciate your time here. Appreciate the breath that enters into your lungs. Appreciate the feel of the wind on your face and how the trees are slowly coming back to life, because spring is nearly here. I'm so excited for spring. So excited for spring. And I'm just like you. I have outgoings. I work Monday to Friday. I'm in the world, but my heart remains pure. I remain Peter Pan in a world constantly telling me to grow up. But when I observe those who have followed that path, I see more misery than pleasure, I see more pain than joy, and I see more frowns than smiles. And therefore, I'm going to trust God and my heart and the animals and nature before I trust man. And that's just me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new. I make a video like this every week. We talk about the enjoyment of life and how to live in it successfully. However you deem success to be, I just see success as pleasure, happiness, joyful. I make shorts Monday to Friday as well, reminding you to embrace positivity, because positivity saves. Positivity allows you to completely change your paradigm and shift you into a perspective of sheer joy and magic and wonder and light. Positivity. I love it. I think that's it. Please leave a comment as well. I love reading your comments. And God bless you. I'm going to go and look for that bird of prey, because I reckon there's a field over there. I reckon he's gone over there. I watched them and I'm like, yay, you're so cool. And then they grab a field mouse. I'm like, no, let him go. Pros and cons, light and dark, good and bad. That's life, that's nature. And we choose which one we focus on. Is the cup half full, is the cup half empty? I'm going with half full. God bless.